CageMinds.com, here with Leonard Bad Boy Garcia. Leonard, thank you for the time. July 19th, you're making your Legacy FC debut, taking on Rey Turjillo. So first of all, the question on everybody's mind, Legacy, why were they the ones that won out and got your services?
Legacy seen the same vision that I seen. They think I belong in the UFC, and were willing to work with what I wanted to do. You know, I told them I wanted to fight right away. I told them I wanted to fight a stand-up guy. I told them I wanted it to be for either for the title or for the contendership for their title. And you know, they went along with all the things. Houston, Texas is the place where the fight card was. That was a big deciding factor as well, because my first fight in the UFC was in Houston. And I felt like that was a big takeoff point for me. And you know, I've had great fights there. Always do well there, so I feel like it just made sense. And I mean, they like I said, they did everything. They made the money situation right. You know, were really lenient towards flying people out for me, doing different things. They extended the olive branch, you know what I mean? So they did everything correct, and they won me over, man.
Well, that's great. Great to hear that they're working with you so well, and that's such a happy working relationship right now. And then also, does it help their Texas-based organization, your Texas boy, and then you're going to have that crowd support, the family support, all that good stuff there?
Yeah, absolutely. That always makes you know, a big difference. Of course, I became a fairly good favorite in the UFC as well, so it seemed like everywhere I went I had a good following. I think that fans love, you know, the type of good fighter that I am, the things that I go out and do, you know. And the main thing for me was getting in there right away and fighting. I still train in the gloves that I fought McKenzie in. Normally I don't train in UFC gloves that I fought in. I usually frame them and keep them, you know, as memorabilia. But these, I felt like that night I didn't fight. So those are my training gloves now, that at least they'll know what it is to actually hit somebody and get a good work. So you know, that my last fight was just a horrible situation that, I mean, I'm trying to forget it. You know, I'm training hard to forget that, and don't ever want that feeling again. I've never had the feeling of not being able to fight. You know, it was the first time for that, and it's not gonna happen again, man. You know, I was burnt out, really complacent. I was doing the same things over and over. Now my training camp has changed so much. I went out to Team Alpha Male for a month and you know, mixed it up with those guys. Came back home, and all the guys here, you know, love the new style. They're actually helping me build on it, so it's a good thing, man.
Can you talk a little bit more about that experience, getting the wrestling in? We know that they probably try to grab your neck a lot out there. Also going to work with Dwayne.
The guys at Team Alpha Male, which is half my team now, they also, man, it was like a great fit. I got there, and the very first day, it felt like I had been there forever. You know, all the guys were super cool. Uriah, Chad, Lance, Joseph, Danny Castillo, everybody, man, was like TJ Dilshaw, super cool, man. Wanted to help me in every aspect, man. They did. You know, it's funny, all the things that they're good at is the things that I struggled against. So it was like, not only would they do it to me, they would explain it to me. So it was like, I've never had one of my opponents just sit there and explain anything to me. And you know, it felt good, man. It felt good to get in there, and those guys trusted me with all their series, the routines, the stuff that they work. And of course, you know, my cousin Dwayne, you know, changed my stand-up game once again. And you know, everybody knows, man, when I go out there and train with Dwayne, it does my stand-up a lot of good. So just all good things came out of that trip, man.
Doing that, we know that last time I talked to you, you talked about getting the gi back on, the love for jiu-jitsu. So with going out there to Team Alpha Male, has the love for the wrestling growing?
Yeah, definitely. Everybody here says my scrambling, the ability to create a scramble is something that I learned there. And I think that's huge in MMA. I mean, I think that is for me, it's going to be a career turning tool to have, because I never had it. I never had that. You know, if I was on the bottom, I would, you know, I'd go for submissions. Now I'm getting on top of guys. I'm controlling them. You know, I'm trying different things. So it's a good all around thing. I still do the gi as well. So
You talked about coming out of the Cody McKenzie fight. You felt like you were kind of in a rut there, and then you asked Legacy for the quick turnaround. Was that to get those thoughts out of your head? What was it that you wanted to get right back to it, to not take some time away?
I wanted to have something to work towards as well. Like now making goals, doing smaller things like thinking about winning the next fight. What happened in the UFC, I also feel like I wasn't fighting to be the champion anymore. I was just fighting just to win the next fight, just to kind of get into the next one. And any fighter out there knows that if you're not fighting to be the best, you're fighting for the wrong reasons. So, you know, being able to step down to an organization and have an opportunity to beat a champion there is, I mean, it's something that I think is going to fuel me, and you know, as of right now, that's my goal, man, is to become champion at 45, and then also even to the 55 champion. You know, let's unify them, do something that none of the other guys are doing. You know, since I will be in a smaller organization, I feel like I want to be able to establish some type of dominance there, and have the UFC want to do a quick turnaround and tell me, hey, man, you're ready to come back.
Do you feel like you're going in Legacy kind of with a chip on your shoulder? You're a big name, and a lot of people are going to be targeting you because of that.
Yeah, I feel like it's no different than in the UFC. A lot of the guys that fought me would always say, you know, it's a big name fight, it's a big deal, but I feel like it's going to be a little extra in Legacy just because I have the name, I have the notoriety, and the guys have something to prove. You know, they want to prove themselves, but I mean, anybody knows, man. I mean, I love that situation. I love when guys have a chip on their shoulder, because it makes them so much easier to knock out.
Coming in this fight, you're taking on Rey Turjillo. He's back-to-back wins, both TKO, KO, both in round one. Aggressive fighter. What do you think about him and his style, and you happy with the matchup?
Definitely happy with the matchup. I feel like his style is similar to mine. He's one of those guys who doesn't care about being on the ground too much. Goes for it on his feet. I believe that he's got power in his hands. Like you said, he's got a key TKO and a KO. These are all good things for me. Everybody knows that I'm the type of guy that has to be hit really hard to be brought, you know, to wake me up. I'm kind of one of those dogs that has to be bitten to start fighting. And Rey has that power, and he has the ability to bite me. And I mean, everybody knows you hit me that hard, you're gonna bring out the best in me. So I hope he's ready.
We know that. We know your brawling style, but do you look at it and say, well, if you look at Rey's record, his two biggest name opponents, Kevin Aguilar and Daniel Pineda, they both finished him by submission. So is that something that you take a look at and you're like, well, that could at least be a weakness of him?
Definitely. You know, being at Team Alpha Male, it did open up my game a lot. I feel like my control on top is a lot better. I'm actually looking for submissions now. I definitely don't want to get in there and have a war. You know, I want to get in there and establish my dominance. I want to let these guys know that I'm serious, that I'm coming to make a statement. That way I can get back to where I belong. So if I see any opportunity to finish the fight, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to go in there with a chip on my shoulder trying to knock everybody out. That's not a guy looking to evolve. That's just a guy trying to go in there and bully guys around, and that's not what I'm here for.
Fighters are special people. I know you guys got supreme confidence, so you've kind of hit the rough patch right now. You got the 5-fight losing streak, but you could almost say that it's like 3 with a little blur in there because that Holloway fight was ever so close. But from your mindset, does anything ever change when you're in a streak like this, or is it improving? Because some people would get down on themselves, but you know, how do you handle this?
Of course, you know, like being in church, doing all the things that I need to do has helped me out a lot, man. It helped me stay positive when a lot of people would have gotten negative. The pressure for me to become a better fighter is the only thing that I put pressure now. I want to become a more well-rounded athlete, and these are things that I'm doing in the gym. I'm trying, not going in there and not trying to knock every guy's head off. Not going in there and getting on my back and just trying to submit him. I'm trying to get up. I'm trying to be on top. I'm trying to do the things that I need to do to to win fights. So that's the only pressure that I've done that I've really put on myself so far, is to become a better fighter, and that keeps my spirits high, man. So, you know, I feel like every time I accomplish something, like, you know, tonight I worked hard, did all the things that I needed to do, and I leave the gym feeling great, you know, feeling that I'm prepared for the next fight. Whereas before, I'd leave the gym knowing that I had some wars in here, but not doing things to get better.
People can look at the losing streak, look at not being in the UFC, and those are on the downslide, but you seem uplifted, re-energized by this. Is it that refocusing once you were there, kind of, to say, oh, it's not so bad, you know?
Yeah, you know, of course the fight hasn't happened yet, but I look at it like this was what I needed. I needed the reality check. I needed the slap in the face. I needed the feeling that I felt. I needed that feeling like, all right, Leonard, you know, you've worked your way, you know, you've fallen all the way down. Now is your opportunity. You know, you hear that saying so many times. Not how many times you fall, it's how you get up. It couldn't be any more real for an athlete. You know what I mean? That's really what it is. And this is my chance to pick myself up and do things correctly. You know, after the Holloway fight, I think that fight took a little wind out of my sails. I remember I had a really good training camp for that one. Felt like I did everything to win the fight. Afterwards, I kind of got down on myself, and you know, kind of felt, you know, a little bad. And then I had the McKenzie fight, and the problem with McKenzie is I didn't respect him any. You know, I just kind of thought, he's just one of those guys who's going to try to guillotine me, whatever. You know, and I think that was my down. My down moment, like the time that I felt really bad, and then all of this happening, all of this positive that came out of it, you know, that at that time it felt like the worst thing for me, but I guess it was the best thing for me.
Some people, you know, when something like this happens, they take some time to step back. It sounds like you just kind of push forward and head more into it. Was that what happened?
Yeah, for sure. I had all these things that I was doing when I was preparing for the Holloway fight to become a better fighter. Of course, I got takedowns in that fight and did these things. Right after that fight, I went back to doing the old way. Just coming in here, just training, still doing the classes and stuff, but just kind of like walking through the motions. I wasn't doing the extra things. I wasn't grappling and then getting in there and doing pads right afterwards. I wasn't working hard anymore. I just kind of, you know, it was like I said, a mixture of feeling bad because I didn't get the decision, and then not respecting Cody, and it came back and bit me in the butt, and I'm glad that it did, because it woke me up again.
Legacy FC on July 19. We know you're making your debut for the promotion back home in Texas. Got a message to send out to the fans that are going to be there?
And you know, you guys in Texas, you know, I know I love you guys. I'm going to go out there and give you a great show. You know, come out and support me. I mean, come out and support Rey. You know, it doesn't matter, man. Both of us are going to go in there and fight. You know, and that's something you're always going to get from me. You're always going to get a great show. So come out and support me, support Rey, support the whole card. It doesn't matter, man. God bless.
Anyone you'd like to thank that's been helping you?
Yeah, man. Team Alpha Male, Greg Jackson's, my whole fight team here, Coach Mike, Dwayne Ludwig, my family. You know, everybody that's helping push me towards a positive goal, man. Thank you guys, and you guys here at MMA K-Side doing the interview.
Thank you, Leonard Garcia. Can't wait for Legacy on July 19th.